There's a literacy crisis in our nation. According to an analysis of the National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP results, 25 million children in the U.S. cannot read at a proficient level, and 1 in 3 children entering kindergarten lack the basic skills they need to learn how to read. Now, this literacy crisis was exacerbated by the learning disruptions caused by the pandemic, which resulted in a return to 30-year lows.
Oh, are you kidding me?
For NAEP reading scores. This is not good.
That's crazy. Here, help us understand the importance of engaging your children in the joy of reading to build their reading engagement and ultimately help them become skilled readers is Alicia Levy, President and CEO of Reading is Fundamental. Welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
I love
I'm thrilled
the
to be here.
The name says it all. I mean, reading is fundamental.
Fundamental. Yeah.
Well, it really does. It really does. And at Reading is Fundamental, we believe that every child should have the opportunities that reading provides. Creating a culture of reading in communities nationwide is the pathway for children to be able to learn. And 67% of children entering 4th grade are not reading at a proficient level. It's impossible to get your arms around that concept. But it was absolutely exacerbated by the pandemic. And now we have children who are entering 4th grade who are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. Because if you can't read proficiently by 4th grade, you're less likely to be able to be successful in school, in life, in your community.
So how do you spread that culture of reading outside of the classroom to target this literacy crisis?
Well, part of it is making reading fun and ensuring that every child sees an opportunity to read in the things that they do every day, and making it relatable, making it engageable, making sure that children see that reading can be fun. I have 17 nieces and nephews.
Wow.
Crazy about every single one of them.
No.
But one of them, when he was a young man, said to me, "Aunt Alicia, reading? You read for fun?" And now he is a graduate of college and has a wonderful job, but he really, really struggled with the idea that reading could be fun, and it can be. And if you make things fun, then you're more likely to engage in it. And if you engage, then you're more likely to learn.
Wow. You know, talk a little bit about the benefits of, let's say, just sitting down and reading aloud, reading to a friend, reading to someone else, or, you know, reading just physical books, because you can also do it on the Kindle and other things, but reading a physical book.
I like the book.
I like the book myself.
Yeah.
I've written 8 of them. I'm working
There
on my
you go.
9th
Well,
and getting ready to write a 10th.
He likes the book.
We want to make sure that every child in this country can read those books.
There you go.
That have the opportunity to read those books. And reading really starts in the home. A family is a child's first teacher, and creating that culture of reading can happen when you're making dinner and you're pulling a recipe out of the recipe book. It can be reading aloud. It's forming habits. It's sitting down with your child in the evening before they go to bed and reading a story out loud to them. If you're a struggling reader, you can play a story, read aloud. And Reading is Fundamental has this outstanding destination called Literacy Central. It's a free web-based platform that has 30,000 resources available for families and educators that include things like read-alouds, some done by famous celebrities and some done by famous parents. It has coloring sheets and vocabulary tips, the fundamental tools that you need as a child learning to read to help you build those skills. And these tools are designed for families and educators to be able to create that culture of reading in home and in the school.
You know, we have to think about all those that don't have libraries or don't have books at home, don't have those opportunities. All those things you mentioned are really great support for those.
Well, they for sure are. And Reading is Fundamental exists because not every child has a book in their home. Over 61% of children living under the poverty line do not have a book in their home. And they should have access to a library, but libraries are tough in urban and rural communities, the hours and the locations. So Reading is Fundamental has been dedicated for over 55 years with partners and literacy advocates from across the spectrum to ensure that children have access to books that they can relate to, that makes reading fun, that creates that joy of reading.
And I can only imagine that collaboration from so many others and even donations are key to your survivalship, right?
Well, that's absolutely true. Reading is Fundamental is a nonprofit, but there's no single solution to any problem. This is a solvable problem. We do have a literacy crisis in this country, but we can solve it. I think we can all agree in this crazy world that we live in. Every child should be able to read, and in this country, we should make sure that that's a priority. So we partner with literacy advocates in local communities. It could be a reading coordinator, it could be a librarian, it could be a celebrity, it could be a corporation. Individual parents and contributors, we believe that the more people that participate in the solution, the more quickly we'll get to solving this problem, and participating with RIF is one way to do it.
Awesome. I love the fact that you said library multiple times, and there are communities that don't have libraries very close, but if you live in a community that the library is down the street or 3 blocks away, take your child to the library.
Yes.
My mother used to force us to go to the library once a week. You had to go in and find 2 books. You had to come up to her and tell her why you wanted to check them out, and we had to make sure we brought them back.
And they had to have words.
And they had to have words, not just pictures, for sure.
But you got to choose.
Yes.
You got to choose. You got to go and you got to choose because it was something that spoke to you. And we're raising a society of digital natives today, right? So whether it's a print or a digital, we want to ensure that children can read anything, anytime, anywhere. And creating that culture and opportunity for them is what's going to solve this problem.
Love it.
Where can people go if they want to get more information?
If you want to get more information, you can go to rif.org/The Balancing Act.
Thank you so much. And to make a donation, if somebody wants to, how can they do that?
They can do the same thing. Go to rif.org/The Balancing Act and make a donation and be part of the solution.
How much more simple can that be?
Great having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your passion.
Pleasure.
And reading is fun.
It's fun.
All right, so read the prompter now.
It is, okay. So if you want more information, you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com. And guess what? We'll be back right after this.